Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. Today's August 25th. I already covered one anniversary today, and I'm going to link to it below. What I want to look at, there's an ad that has kept coming up in my YouTube feed lamenting the difficulty a woman had aborting her disabled baby after the Dobbs decision. So we're going to listen to it together, and you'll get to hear what I think about it. Adjust the volume a little.
I was told that my baby was not compatible with life and it was in my best option to terminate.
Okay, so what we're looking at is a devastating situation. She's been given the news that her unborn baby has a condition that means the baby is, when they say incompatible with life, the baby's alive, so obviously the condition is not incompatible with life. The condition is incompatible with long-term survival. And, you know, I've seen doctors being kind of fuzzy about what incompatible with life means. Again, if the baby's alive, the condition is not incompatible with life. It's incompatible with a normal human lifespan. So, nevertheless, this is a tragic thing for any family to learn about the baby that they were preparing to welcome into the world. And she's saying that she was told what her best option was. Why do I get the feeling she was never offered perinatal hospice? Right? Now, I want you to imagine a woman who discovers when the baby is born that the baby has a condition that means that this child is not going to live long, maybe a few hours, a few weeks, maybe a month at the most. If the doctor said, you know what, let's just inject poison into the baby's heart right now and kill it, I don't think you'd consider that nearly as compassionate as a doctor who said, okay, we do have hospice services for you so that we can help you to keep your baby as comfortable as possible while you spend as much time loving and getting to know your baby as possible. Which option would you consider better? The let's just, oh, this one's broken, let's just get rid of it? Or let's help the baby make the most of his or her short life? Perinatal hospice helps the parents make the most of their child's short life. So I get the feeling she was not offered perinatal hospice. She already said she was told that the best thing to do is just to, it depends on when. This is another thing. They're telling these women that abortion is the most merciful thing to do to the child. Depending on when the anomaly is detected, if it's later than about 24 weeks or so, where the baby is past the ordinary point of viability, what they will do is they will inject the poison either into the baby's heart or into the baby's brain through the uterine wall with a big amniocentesis needle. You can imagine it's probably not fun to get this gigantic needle shoved, you know, through your chest wall into your heart, and then this causes a baby to have a heart attack and die. It's basically the same method that is used in lethal injection executions, except the baby is not anesthetized and sedated before the drug is administered, and the drug is not administered via an IV, it's just jammed straight into the heart. Now, if it's before that point, what they do is they reach in and the baby dies because you're pulling the child's limbs off one by one, and eventually the baby succumbs. These doctors are telling women that that is more merciful than providing pain relief and comfort care and allowing the child to die held and cuddled and loved in his or her mother's arms. So, I've said it before, I think that the doctors who push for abortions in these cases, they want their own pain to be over with. They go into obstetrics because they want to be part of the joy of welcoming this new child into the world. And once these horrible diagnoses are made, that changes the tenor of the whole thing. And it is much easier for that doctor, once the abortion is completed, he never has to give another thought to that baby again for the rest of his life. For him, the ordeal is immediately and totally over, done with. That is never over for the mother and the family. They're carrying that with them the rest of their lives. The death of this baby is something that they're never going to get over. They're just going to learn to live with it. And imagine if, you were told the most merciful thing you could do for your child was an abortion, and then later you find out how it was performed, that they twisted the limbs off your living baby. I don't think that's a comforting thing for the family. So I think there are a couple of reasons that the doctors push for abortion. One is that it's a sad and uncomfortable situation for them, and they want to get out of it as quickly as possible. And so they ship her off to the abortion clinic and never have to give it a second thought. It can be that they don't think disabled people are valuable and deserve to live, and they want them weeded out in the womb. So I don't trust any doctor who says your baby is sick, let's kill it, instead of let's maximize the time you have with this precious child.
The Friday that Roe versus Wade was overturned, my doctor calls me almost in tears telling me that the hospital board would not approve it because of the overturn. The thought of Donald Trump being president again scares me. It's going to be detrimental to women's health.
Okay, so what the people I think that this woman was just traumatized. I do not blame her for coming forward with her story, because she was told by her doctor, let's not spend time with this baby. Let's not make the most we can of this short life. Let's not see if we can build some memories around your pregnancy and this child. It's let's get this over and done with. She's been recruited by people that, not just in her circumstance, but in all circumstances, think abortion is the snake oil that cures all ills. So, I'm not blaming Chloe for this. I'm really, really upset with these people that they're making the most of this woman's tragedy. Let me see if she ever does mention, and let's find out what happens. I am guessing that they did manage to get her someplace where her baby would be put to death. And she's going to thank the people who arranged it. That's my guess.
With Kamala Harris, to see another woman up there fighting for women's rights, I see in her future being able to bring Roe back in place.
Okay, so we don't hear what happened. So we're not hearing a story of how difficult it was to arrange an abortion somewhere else. We're not hearing a story about how the baby was born. She just brings us up to the point where I found out that my baby had a very serious medical condition, and they told me that the hospital would not okay just killing the baby. So there are a lot of unanswered questions there. But again, she doesn't say they offered me the choice between perinatal hospice and abortion, and I decided that no, I wanted an abortion. They told me abortion was my best option, and then they called and cried that this baby's life was going to be extended a little bit longer. So I'm going to provide a link to information about perinatal hospice below as well.